Myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, I will be demonstrating to you the use of indicator named Keltner channel. This indicator was developed in 1960s and it is named after its developer. We will see how we can utilize this indicator to design and develop the automated algorithmic setup using the Visual JForex platform. This indicator is classified under the other indicators in the Visual JForex categorization. Here it is. Yesterday we saw the Ichimoku VF. Now it's the turn of the Keltner channel. We will see the version which is based on the ATR. So this indicator is derived using the EMA and the ATR. Here it is. This is fairly easy to understand and also the use is not that complex, and I would try to make it as easy as possible to get you started on the use of this indicator. This is the Keltner channel block, and we are using the on candle as our start point for the today's setup. This is the Visual JForex board developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA to make our life easier. I have also included the formula how it is calculated. So here you can see that middle line is simply the EMA of our desired number of periods. So if you want to use the 10 period channel, then all you need to do is define it as 10. Then the upper band and the lower band, these are as usual, these are defined using the ATR range. It can be twice, or if you want to customize it, you can do that. But we don't really have that option provided to us here. So for us, we have to simply take the default value, and that's ATR range. Here we can define the time period for the calculation of the channel. Now coming to its individual parameters, we have to define these input parameters, and depending on these input parameters we will be having these three output parameters: the upper band, the middle band, and the lower band. We also have to keep in mind these two other factors: the settings, whether we want the calculation to be done on the bit side or on the ask side. That is also critical, and there will be slight difference in output price depending on the side of the calculation. And also for EMA, we have to see what applied price we want to take into account, whether the closing price or high price or low price. All the options are provided to us. So we have to decide it as per the requirement of the setup. Let us head to the JForex platform where we will add the Keltner channel to the charts, and here this is the version based on ATR. We use this indicator to see the trend and the strength of the trend. So if the price is trading above the EMA, that is usually considered as the bullish. If the price is trading below the EMA, then that is considered as the bearish. And also, since we take into account the ATR prevalent at that point in time, we get to see if the price volatility is there, or if the trend is sideways. And depending on the price action, the movement in the price moves in the price action, we get to decide whether it is the good time to get involved or whether to simply sit on the sideline. As and when there is increased volatility, we will see the expansion of these bands, and when there is not much of a movement, we will see the contraction of the band. The ATR will be lower as a result of that. The upper band as well as the lower band will be fairly close to the EMA. The other use of this indicator is that you can try to figure out the overbought and oversold scenarios as well. Whenever we see that the large price move has already happened and that has touched the bands, the upper band and the lower band, and now after a significant move in the direction, one direction, whether upwards or downwards, then we see some sort of reversal happening, and that can also be taken as a sign that the underlying instrument has entered into the oversold, or for example, for that matter, overbought territory, and now we can see some retracement before the resumption of the trend in the direction of the trend. So that way also we can use it. You can simply try to get involved against the trend for scalping kind of opportunity, or you can even trade with the trend with the help of this band. You can try to see that there is a due consolidation, and only after that you want to get involved. So you wait it out for the contraction of the upper and the lower band, and whenever you see that price action has consolidated well closer to the middle band, that is the EMA, and after due consolidation you think about going in for the fresh position in the direction of the trend. So that way you can use this indicator for trading with the trend, and as I explained earlier, we can also try to get involved in the contra trend positions also, where we are simply trying to look for the scalping opportunities. So both ways you can utilize this indicator, and as I said, it is fairly easy to customize it, and fairly easy to understand also. In some ways this is just like the Bollinger Band, but this difference is derived using the ATR. In case of Bollinger Band, we take into consideration the standard deviation. So there is that difference which makes these two indicators distinct. And also we can't really change the middle line, which is made up of the EMA. In case of Bollinger Band, we can change the moving average type also. Now coming to the customization, default instrument can be Euro USD or any other instrument of your choice. For example, let us use the NZD/USD for today's setup. So we have changed the default instrument to NZD/USD. Time period, if you want to trade for shorter time horizon, then I think the time period like 10 minutes or even 5 minutes, 15 minutes should do the job. If you want to trade on the longer term horizon, medium term to longer term, then the time frames like hourly, 4 hourly, or even daily should do the job. And some people, if you want to set the outer layering, you can even go for the time frames like weekly or monthly when you are building the layered algorithms. But we are not really going to get many trades when we are trading using the time frames of weekly or monthly. But whenever we do get, we might have good chance of the underlying instrument moving a fair distance, and that way it will compensate for lower number of trades, as we will be targeting more pips in the single trade there. So that's also one of the possibility of using the longer time horizon. In today's session, we keep the time period at 30 minutes. So here I have changed it to 30 minutes. Shift is the look back period, as you might be well familiar by now. If you have seen earlier sessions of the Visual JForex, this is simply the look back period where we have to define the look back period, and depending on that we will be able to retrieve the data for that particular period of time. If you want to say go back by 5 candlesticks of half an hour each, we have to define the shift at 5 instead of 0, and we will have the output value for that particular candle. Then for how long you want this calculation to be done, how many candles you want to take into consideration. Suppose if you are using the default value of 10, then the 10 candles of half an hour each will be taken into consideration while calculating this Keltner channel. If you want to change it, you can change it. So if, for example, if you want to make it 20, we are free to do so. So we have to customize these as per our requirements, and as per the findings which we see are likely to give us more profitable trading opportunity. And then as I said, we get these output values, the upper band, middle band, and the lower band. And also we have to be mindful of these applied price. Here I will explain to you the use of applied price, as depending on the kind of applied price we will see some difference creeping in the plotting of this channel. I think I will have to increase the width so that this indicator plotting is easily visible to you. Now the applied price, currently it is the closing price. If we use high price, then you will see that this Keltner channel has shifted to the higher side. If you use lower price, then the Keltner channel shifts to the lower price. If we use median price, we will see some difference there. Typical price, open price. So that's how the system works depending on the type of applied price. We will have the difference in plotting, and this indicator will still give you the direction as well as the strength of the trend. So both way you can use this indicator to find the momentum, and then try to figure out the optimum entry and exit possibilities. So that's it from my side for today's session. If you have any query or any idea to share, you can give the feedback in the comment section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.